Hi, I'm Cynthia from Knitting Central, and today we're going to review the purl stitch. Now that you know how to cast on and knit, this is your next step. We are very excited to show this to you because once you learn how to knit and purl on the same row, all the different stitch patterns that you see out there are usually a combination of some sort of knit and purls, and so the whole world will open up to you. Let's get started. Conceptually, when you knit, everything is oriented towards the back. So your needle is going front to back, and you're wrapping the yarn around the back. With purling, everything is oriented towards the front. So let's start. Your needle will be pointing towards your right hand, and you want to put your yarn into the front of your work. Take a look at my hand position. The thumb is in the front holding the needle and the index is more towards the back. Remember, just like in knitting, each stitch is like a loop on the needle. Take the right needle and place it at the bottom of the front of the loop. Some people see this as going from back to front. Some people see this as going right to left. However you see it is fine. So we're going to take our needle and go from the bottom of the front of the loop from back to front. We're still going to make our X like we do in knitting. I'm going to shift my thumb over just like we did in knitting, but this time the thumb and the index finger are still parallel, but they are right at the cross of the X. Take your yarn and wrap it still counterclockwise, but this time it's around the front needle, and come back between the two needles. Take your left thumb and just tip your needle down a little bit. This will make it much easier to get through the hole. You're going to back it out of the hole. I'm going to show you a different position. Go from back to front, make your X, wrap the yarn counterclockwise around your right needle, come back and hold it, and here is your big hole, and you want your needle to go right through that hole. So if you pretend they're glued together and push the right needle against the left, it will naturally back itself right out of that hole. Again, back to front, pinch the two needles together so you can let go of your right hand, wrap the yarn around counterclockwise around the front needle, come back and hold it. Put your left thumb on the tip of the needle. Pretend the two needles are glued together just like when you knit, and push the front needle against the back needle and let it slide right back into that hole and off the needle. Once again, back to front, pinch your needles by the X, wrap the yarn counterclockwise around the front needle, come back and hold the needle. Left thumb goes on the tip of the front needle, tip it down just a bit, and push that needle back through the hole and off. Last time, back to front, pinch, wrap around, come back and hold. Left thumb tips down and pushes back and off the stitch. Now that we have two stitches left, I want to show what happens at the end of the row. So let's just review. We go back from back to front, we cross at the X, we wrap our yarn. Thumb helps us by tipping the needle down a bit, pushing one needle against the other, push back and off, and last stitch, back to front, pinch, wrap your yarn, back and off. Now you'll notice that on this side all the stitches look like little bumps, and these are the purl stitches. On this side you'll see that the garment are like little tiny V's, and this is what happens when you create the knit stitch. So if you remember from our last video, when we just knit, the bumps were on the back as well as the front, and that's why the garment was reversible, and that was called the garter stitch. What you've created today is called the stockinette stitch, and that is when you keep all of the V's on one side and all of the bumps on the other. And now that you know how to knit and purl, We look forward to working with us on our next video, knitting and purling on the same row.